There we go. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another High Top Sports episode. I'm in the studio with my main man, Steven Chad. What's up, big dog?
Big man. How are you today? It's been too long.
It has been too long. These weeks seem to be getting longer and longer as we move along here. Listen, Steve, we have some pretty awesome news, some exciting news. We hit a great milestone, Steve. It's look, man, after just under a year, we've been grinding, we've been scratching, we've been clawing. We hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely incredible. Steve and I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining, for listening to our dumb butts speak and yell at each other every Wednesday night. And it means a lot. It really does. For 1,000 people to kind of gather together and become part of this family, it's really cool. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. Yep, 100%. We couldn't have made as many mistakes as we did without you, and we certainly wouldn't have the statisticians and fact checkers to tell us how dumb we truly are if it wasn't for you guys. So we greatly appreciate it. We got plenty more content coming for you guys. We're going to keep this train rolling. Stick around with us, man. We love you guys.
Next stop's 1 million. Just kidding. And quick shout out to Al and Diane Bishkoff. They are some fans from the beginning. They've been showing some support, so I wanted to show them some love. So thank you, too, for watching. Again, we do appreciate it. Now, on to a awesome special guest. So excited for this. Hey, scare money don't make money. Johnny, we are going to get into that, big dog. You just sit tight. We are going to get into that. Hold on, Johnny. But introducing one of my favorite guests so far, Julia. I'm going to mess it up. I already know that I am. I already messed it. I forgot what it was. I need to see it. Solskiat.
Oh, you remembered.
Steve got it.
Nailed it.
I got a little cotton mouth there. I got nervous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Julia. Kind of a quick introduction to her. She has the greatest living situation in the world. All right, it's as simple as that. She is from Atlanta, but that's enough about me. Julia, kind of give us a little about who you are, what you do, and what's going on with yourself.
Yeah, of course. So, hey guys, my name's Julia. I live in, well, it's up for controversy. I mean, is it Atlanta? Is it not Atlanta? Because it's not in the perimeter. It's technically OTP. So it's up for debate, but my address says Atlanta. So I live in the Battery, which is where the Braves play. And my apartment actually overlooks the stadium. You know, I have season tickets, lifelong Braves fan. So yeah, that's pretty much.
That's it.
There.
I love it. So Julia came across my TikTok. She's been we're huge Braves fans. We've talked about this before. She keeps popping up on my TikTok with just the most incredible room or apartment living situation you can imagine. So I want to pull something up really quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about here, okay? So this is the Battery. It's home of the greatest baseball team in the country. And this, I can't show you guys, but you guys can see where the stadium is. Just to the right, there's a glass building, another glass building, and then a strip of kind of brownish looking buildings. Those are the apartment buildings, okay? And when they first built that, I remember seeing that, so I was like, this is going to be incredible. Being able to live this close to the stadium, like, this is a gift, right? Like, to live this close is absolutely incredible. I wonder what it's like to live there. Every time I go to the stadium, I walk down that strip, I look up, I see the flags, I'm like, look, he's on the benches. Wonder who's up there. And then Julia comes scrolling through my TikTok, just showing off her amazing place, and she also has the new World Series ring, which we're gonna get to in just a second. But you have the most incredible apartment. You can see the stadium from your balcony. Now, can you see into the stadium? Can you see the games? Talk to me.
You can't see in the game. So people ask me that a lot. If I could, then I wouldn't get season tickets because that would be phenomenal.
This is true.
I actually used to. So I've lived here for about 4 years. I used to live in the building across the way in the penthouse with 2 other girls, which was phenomenal because, you know, Luke Jackson lived above us. We were almost
Luke.
Right above. Yeah, Luke. But you could see the fireworks from on that side. That was really great because Friday night fireworks, you know, beat the crowds out, sit up on the balcony, watch the fireworks. From this side, well, I couldn't do the roommate thing, so that's why I got a 1-bedroom because COVID happened and lots of partying. So I came.
Sure.
I could still go to the parties, but get to come home and sleep in my own bed and quiet. So it's really good people watching. You can't see in the stadium, but what's good is like bobblehead games and things like that, where there's giveaways. Like I can scope out the lines, like kind of decide when it's good to, get in there and everything like that.
So you recently got in line and got the first giveaway for the World Series replica World Series ring. You were showing off your ring as the line was still waiting. It wrapped. So I saw where it wrapped around. It wrapped all the way down the battery into the highway and under the bridge. Right now, you know what we're talking about. Most people wouldn't understand, but that's a good swim. Okay, that's a long way. It's probably a good mile and a half of a line, maybe further. Right.
Oh, definitely. I would say at least a mile. I mean, it was out of control.
It was unreal. Now, did they run out? Were people pissed? Did you see that go down?
I was just so confused because they had 40,000 rings. The stadium holds about 43,000 around there.
Sure.
So I'm like, it's not like a bobblehead where there's a limited supply. It's the first 15,000.
Yeah.
So also, I pulled up and I'm like, you guys, it's not the real $25,000 ring. Like, what are we waiting for?
It's been 25 years, Julia. 25 years. Okay, I thought about leaving work.
I supported it, but I left work an hour early to try and just kind of beat the traffic. It was worse than World Series. I mean, the parade coming through, it wasn't even as bad. It was worse than that. So
wow, on a Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you know the secrets, it only takes 4 minutes to get your ring, and you don't have to spend 4 hours.
So
don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody. But let us see the ring. Let me see this thing in all its glory, please. This is the closest I've been able to get to it here.
All right, so it came in this.
My goodness,
that's awesome.
So how does it feel? Does it feel legit?
Okay. I was expecting it to be cheap plastic, right?
My gosh, that thing is huge. It's
actually heavy. I know, it's amazing. And it even has the pearl, the jock.
Yes.
Pearl
it's got the pearl. Oh yeah, you can see
yes, sir.
That's wild.
Big cock jock, baby.
It doesn't open like the actual one, the actual ring has the lights on the inside and opens
that
up.
That hurts. Yes.
But it's a lot better quality than I was anticipating. And
yeah, that thing is absolutely amazing. I love every bit of it. It is super cool. Too cool.
Yeah, I love it.
It looks legit.
It's I don't know if it actually fits on anyone's finger. I will say that.
Oh, I would wear it as a necklace. I would not take it off.
Right. Yeah. Smart. So then I went to Delta Club last week, and they had the full Jostens line, $600 rings, $700 rings. They did have the $25,000 ring. So they actually are doing some fan giveaway ring. Well, you have to pay for them, but they're not giveaways.
But okay, so a little bit higher class. It's kind of cool to see what they've done too with the fan experience. Because I mean, back in the day when you see people winning, you're not able to buy rings like this of this size, or even have the replica be a part of the team. So I'm loving to see how they're bringing us and making us a part of it too. And the Braves really cool. They gave away a lot of the announcers the rings too. That's what I love about Braves country. That was awesome.
I saw that too. Yeah, a lot of people were able to kind of capitalize. So we went to the ring ceremony. I think it was the second game or something like that. So it was kind of funny because they're giving them the rings to walk across the stage, and then you see them get off the stage and give the ring back.
Oh yeah, true. So you were there for the World Series. Were you at this apartment during the World Series?
I was. Yep. Okay. I was here.
So you have season tickets. Did you?
I do.
Now, you get tickets to the playoff games. How does that work?
Okay, so last season was my first season having season tickets. So good luck, Charm.
Okay. All right. I like it.
There's something to that. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So I think it was August when my rep sent the email, and it was hey, if you want to opt in for playoffs, and this was, simply just playoffs at the time, there was an option called pay now, cheer later. And you were buying in at the rate of the face value that your tickets would typically go for. Now my section is up high, but it's behind home. So it works for me. I don't like to be in the outfield where I can't really, my eyesight's not great. I can't see what's going on, but being behind home, even if I'm high up, fine. So I didn't want to do, it was $800 or something to secure all the playoffs. I know it doesn't seem that.
That was one ticket. Julie, that was one ticket. The whole playoffs? Oh my God. That's a steal.
my mom and I, because that's who I have season tickets with, we were kind of going back and forth, and she's like, "We need to do this. What are you thinking? Like, I will buy yours."
You
It's
have
so
to believe.
Yeah,
Mom, let's go. Mom, get in the car. Get in the car, Mom. Let's get. Come on.
Yeah. So we did it, and it secured the full postseason. So I was able to sell one World Series game and make my full season ticket amount back, including postseason.
Wow. What game did you
Well
sell?
played.
I sold the first game of the World Series, and the weather was not good. It was
it was miserable.
so bad.
I was telling you on the precast where I stood in the battery outside the stadium for 4 hours, and it was cold, it was windy, and it was just a light drizzled. But after 4 hours of a light drizzle, you were soaking wet.
You're soaked. Yeah.
I didn't care. I felt like a kid in a candy shop. It would have not mattered.
It was football weather, not baseball weather. So
Yes.
I actually felt so bad because the guy I sold him to, I knew him, and so I almost felt so guilty that
the seats.
They paid so much money for that. Yeah. So
yeah.
But
no, he got to steal.
Almost felt guilty.
He got to steal. No, he's fine. It'll be okay. And they won that game. They won that game.
The World Series.
That's incredible. You also have some other cool stuff from the World Series there, right?
I do.
I haven't seen any of this. I love this because this is kind of like the old fashioned, like back in the the early days. This is what you would get, but down here in Jax, we're not getting this stuff.
No.
I know. So when we won the National League, I got this. The AJC was handing these out.
I just got goosebumps.
Sad. I know. And then I got this one when we won.
I love that.
This one.
Oh, worth the wait. It absolutely was.
I know. Yeah, so that was great. I was bummed because there wasn't like a physical World Series ticket to keep. So
yeah. So I have a buddy of mine got me. You can't see it, but I have the 3 tickets here. It's a little.
You do?
Yeah, it's like a version of it. I don't know if it's like legit. It's like a little like memorabilia thing. It has like 2 tokens in it, but it's not like a legit ticket. You know what I mean? Like they sell like 100 of them. But it was the closest thing I got. So I was like, I'm kind of glad I got that. But I love the newspapers. That's absolutely awesome.
I was excited about them. It's a keepsake. It's a sad keepsake because he's in the wrong blue now. But
what's your feeling? Are you hating on Freddie? Are you okay with it? Are you okay with the way he left? What's your take?
I don't think I could ever hate on Freddie because I was just such a Freddie fan. I just feel like he's like a staple to the whole Braves community. And watching his pregame interview, Monday.
Yeah, choking up a little bit.
Yes, that was awful. And seeing Charlie run to Dansby when he saw him on the field, I was like, "Oh my, this is not right." So, I think it was a mistake. I'm sure you guys heard Chipper's interview on it, and I truly do think that he misses Braves country. So
he doesn't look comfortable. That's for sure.
I feel that way.
I was pretty comfortable at the plate. I'm not.
All right, Steve. Still easy, okay? Easy.
Oh my gosh, the home run at his first at bat was like I turned the game off. I was like, well, that's all I need to see.
Unbelievable.
That's it for me today.
Excuse me, I got a little caught in my mouth. That's awesome. I love that you got that. I love that you were able to even get those things. That's a really cool keepsake to have. Like I said, that it's one of those kind of old keepsakes that you grew up watching, you seen other teams doing on their newspapers. So I love seeing that.
Yes, I need to frame them. I need to get
Yes, you do. So I have a question from my wife, and she had a great question. She wanted to know, did your rent go up after the World Series? And I was like, that's a hell of a question.
It's a great question. Yeah.
Really good question. And the TikTok community is so curious about my rent.
You don't have to expose that. That's nosy. I just want to know if what happened around you caused inflation. Because I can only imagine what the rent is.
But I will say, without disclosing, because now I'm actually partnering with the apartment complex.
Beautiful.
For discounted rent.
Yes. Hell yeah. Well done. Because, dude, you're free advertising. That is awesome.
They are so supportive and, really, they're just keep doing what you do and, no stipulations. Like, they're just like, you're owning it, whatever. Great to work with. My rent did not go up. I don't think they could do that when I was in a lease.
Okay.
But for new leases, yes, I think it's skyrocketed all around the Battery. Not just like the Battery apartments, but
just in general.
Yeah, but I mean, the apartment complex has stepped it up completely. They were throwing pregame parties the full postseason. I mean, open bar, DJs, they had showing parties. Like, it was amazing on these rooftops that, it's really good people watching. You're not waiting in any lines. And I'm like, this is so much better than. So that's why I wasn't mad. The first game we watched it on a big screen. I'm pointing outside, but
we got
on a
it.
big screen.
Showing off.
Yeah.
We get it.
Here, right here.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I think it's great that you're capitalizing on that. Your TikToks are great. I love watching them. It's because I get a little insight. I get to be able to live a little bit through those TikToks because I'm not there. So
live vicariously, Shelton. You've always wanted to be there, and now with Julia, you can live vicariously through her TikTok. It's amazing.
Yep.
Yes, and you and your wife can come to the pregame parties.
Don't do this,
Julia. I can burn a house down. I will be taking you up on that. We will be there sooner rather than later. And you said it, not me.
It's on the internet. You can't take it back.
Hey, well, Julia, I appreciate you. I reached out to you a week ago. You've been in great contact, great communications this entire week. Go follow her on her TikTok. I'm going to put it down below so you guys can go check it out if you're a Braves fan. We got a lot of Braves fan on the podcast. That's why we wanted to have you on as well. It's awesome content. Chop on strong, baby. Julia, thank you again. Have a good night. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys so much.
See ya.
Y'all have a good one. Go Braves.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Slide that last one in. You gotta hit that last go Braves. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know she's a fan, because she doesn't know how to get off of a cast like this without being able to hit that last dinger.
Exactly. Let's get to the comments and then we're gonna get into it. We got Brian Carter in the building. Muddy's in the building. They're already getting at it. Mom's in the building. Mark Biscoff.
What's up, Audra?
Thank you, Sheldon. Big Al, the Gator fan, and Miss Diane say go Gators. Keep up the great work. Yes, sir. Go Gators. Johnny. We're here, Scared Money Don't Make Money, and Brian Carter, Alex Compton. We were talking about some Braves country, baby. That's what we were talking about. But we're moving on. We're going to get into some...
You can't forget about Ryan the Enforcer Bork.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Bork. Yeah, he's already yelling at people. Talking about people's moms.
Body checking like a defenseman right now. The game's on later, Ryan. Settle down.
All right, before we get into the orange and blue talk, I got to get into a little segment here, all right? Beards. Okay. All right, that's what we're doing here today, okay? Anytime something's great's going on, you grow a beard, right? The playoff beard, the football, the Julian Edelman is known for his playoff beard and his great run, right?
Amazing. Yep.
Right, during the playoffs. Hockey is just, that's all what they're about. The playoff beards. The Red Sox did it. It just becomes a thing where you grow this thing out during a fun, exciting time where you're ready to rock and roll.
That's
right?
True. It is a sports icon. It's a lore, if you will, that if you don't participate in playoff beard, you're just not a team player. Screw your face. Screw the itch. You're going to grow the damn beard.
Exactly. So this is what made me want to do what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to grow a baby beard.
A what?
A baby beard. We're having a baby, Steve. High Top Sports is adding
one subscriber.
Another subscriber to the board, baby. And I'm growing out the baby beard. We're not shaving it. I'm going to get this thing curled up. We're going to grow it out until that baby comes poking out. And honestly, I'm probably just keep it for the long haul here. So, look, I got a lot of work to do, but baby beard is
on.
Look, we're going to start a trend, okay? It's going to be a new thing. Anybody who's out there that has a baby due over the next, I don't know how long, baby beard is the new trend.
This is it right here. Look, Shelton, my man, congratulations. You, your wife, amazing. Couldn't be happier for you guys. And look, you have needed some work on that beard for a long, long time. And you know what? It may be the baby that finally pushes the beard greatness over the top. So, hey, to that baby, thanks for doing the dirty work here.
Appreciate it, Bubba. Hey, we're going to do a contest. Whoever wins it gets to name the kid. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna find out what it is, so you guys are gonna have to wait like me until November 1st is due to find out what we're having. So we might miss a show or two come that time, but we're gonna do our best. WFL says what's up and congrats. Thanks, man. Alex said congrats. Thank you, Bubba. Brian Carter says congrats, but appreciate it. He also said go Avs, which I've heard through the grapevine that Ryan is a huge Avs fan. So we might have a little bit of a bromance going on. Jason V said congrats. Mark said congrats. Mama said whoop whoop. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We're excited. We're ready to rock and roll. So baby beard, if you guys want to grow one with me, keep it on.
Timbry Stout, you look like a big fan of beards. If you want to grow one, Timbry, knock yourself out. I think that'd be everybody who'd be here to watch that.
Oh, Muddy's
last name will be Bork.
Oh, geez. Muddy says keep the beard till your kid is older than 1, then shave it, and your kid will flip. My kid thought I was a stranger and freaked out. That's pretty funny. I don't know if I would shave it. That's rambunctious. Have you seen me without a beard, Muddy? Yeah, you don't want to.
Speaking of people without beards, we talked about this a little bit, kind of getting ready for.
We're gonna save that. We're gonna save the beard. We got to touch
on that here in a little bit.
We got an old beard. We got an exciting beard conversation. All right, guys. Orange and blue game. We had a big game last week. I'm not sure if you guys heard about it. We had Connor on there. Connor Clark last week gave some incredible insight to what's going on there in Gator Nation, and was pretty spot on. The one thing he did miss on, which I'm not mad about, which not horrible, but we were thinking 50-plus recruits. Apparently, the last wording was 300-plus recruits were there.
Missed it by that much.
Yep, just a little bit. Look, we talked about it. I think it was great that he had it on that Thursday night. But let's talk about the review. Let's talk about some takeaways. You had some people that you wanted to highlight on, Steve?
Yeah, definitely. And one of them, just some of the backstory that came along with it was kind of intriguing to me, because Dante Zanders was a kid that came in under McElwain, and he came in as a tight end. He was recruited as a tight end. And then under
Mullen?
On McElwain originally.
Recruitment. Okay.
Yep. And then Mullen was there, and eventually at some point during this transition in the coaching cycle there, he got moved into the defensive line. Now, look, typically when you make a move from the original position you were recruited, things may not be going so well for you at the school. Maybe you're not fitting in on the team, whatever the case. But usually there's a tell there to say that there might be some writing on the wall. But this kid stuck it out. He stuck it out, and then now obviously Billy's there. Billy gave him a shot to go back to tight end. Obviously, there's a little bit of a need there. We've talked about that, the need at the position on this cast. But the kid got moved back to tight end and went out there Thursday night and just balled out. And I want to say he had like 5 or 6 catches. Him and Richardson, as much as it pains me to say this, looked like they really were on the same page, and they were making some big plays together. Richardson was making big plays no matter what. I mean, the guy could have shot the ball out of his ass and it was going to be a touchdown. But Sanders actually looked like he was out there balling around.
So that was we talked about it too. I said either the defense is going to be really good or the offense is going to be really good, or the defense is going to suck and that's going to make the offense look good. I don't know where we went. Muddy, sorry about your boy Jack Miller. Jack Miller was a disappointment. I got to eat my words. He was my Dark Knight. Your Dark Knight is gone. We have lost the Dark Knight fight, Steve. Jack looked very timid. It looked like every throw was coming off his back foot. It had a lot of air underneath it. Nothing was being thrown with confidence. It was very frustrating to watch because it's like you have it, you're there, you're not believing in what you're throwing, right? You're almost afraid to make a mistake, which is causing you to make mistakes. That's what I felt like I was watching. Anthony looked extremely comfortable, like you said, and I love the new helmets. Kind of, sort of, they looked cool. It looked like he was kind of like in the future a little bit. But it was good to see things get out there. I think we also noticed a lot of things where the lack of depth, right? Paul Finebaum, whatever his name is, came out. Finebaum. Let me read what he said verbatim, because it was some good stuff here. He said, "I think fans better be aware that this is not going to be a great team. I never in my life thought saying that getting to a decent bowl game would be considered a success at Florida. That's blasphemous. That is blasphemous, Finebaum. But I think that it's because they have a difficult schedule. You can't really find a more treacherous beginning than they have. And I think they'll be struggling. I think AR, assuming he works everything out off the field, which we'll get into, he's a really good player, but I don't think they have a lot around them that is sustainable. And what I mean by that is depth. Now, we know this. We've heard this. Billy has been very adamant about this. Watching them, this is probably the first time that I've been a little bit more of a skeptic of like, look, he's not wrong. I've been tooting the horn since the beginning, since Billy got here, like he's going to turn it around. But I think when we see it, right, a little reality sets in, and look, we're not where I was, where we obviously want to be. Expectations are always, I think, a little bit higher. So that's kind of where your heart breaks a little bit. Look, AR did look really, really good, which excites me. Montrell Johnson looked really, really good. And that was our call, too, for Montrell Johnson. Connor said Lingard was his pick. We talked like a few weeks before about Montrell Johnson being the guy because he was at Louisiana with Billy. Yep. So Billy is obviously bought in on Montrell Johnson, and it showed. Right, the guy's stout. He's obviously he has a little bit more experience than the other running backs. I think it's still a great running back room. But again, I think that what we're talking about is the depth. Later into the game is where things are going to start hurting.
Yeah, look, and the one thing I'll say for Billy is he has not come in since his first day at Florida and given you stupid coach speak. He's not just been this, this vague, no answers and things like that. Like, like Jimbo Fisher can give you some really vague answers. I listened to him at FSU for a long time. And sometimes the rhetoric just was like, dude, you say the same stuff over and over, regardless of the question. And I think Mullen was getting that way a lot too. He was very, everything was very close to the vest as he got closer towards the end. But look, Billy's not been that way. Billy's been very practical, and he's been very transparent, and he's been very honest, I think, about his assessment with the team and where they may struggle, where they need depth, where they need some players where they have the depth to step up. So I think when Billy is honest and he the things that he says, it's not coach speak. That's about as transparent and as clear as you want your head coach to be, without just saying, look, we got 3 guys on the roster that I wish weren't here, something along that.
Yeah, and look, he came back with like, look, it doesn't really matter what that guy says, and like you said, he's been very transparent about it. So he hasn't praised anything outside of that. I think it's the noise around him. I think it's the fans. All of us have been really excited, which is causing it to seem like he's gaslighting himself, but he's not. He's just doing his job. Yeah. So look, I am a little nervous. I wanted this to be great, but we do have we've talked about a very tough beginning. Which that's the concerning part, is the beginning stages are so tough that we're not going to be able to get those kinks worked out in time to where the season can become a mudslide very quickly. And again, we've been talking about it, and the orange and blue game got me a little bit more. I got some more insight, right? We could see a little bit. Jack not being what I was hoping would be scared me. Not that he's the guy, but it's like, well, dang, if the second guy is not even close, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's who I was honestly watching, because he was my Dark Knight. So I expected AR to do what AR was going to do. And I was kind of looking at the players that we were looking to see, hey, are they going to be the difference makers?
Well, I think when you have a separation between the number 1 and number 2, you get a little bit of concern until you realize how talented your number 1 is, and then it shouldn't be a concern. You're just not going to see that level of talent. And then if you've got somebody with that level of talent close to him at the number 2 spot, you're not going to have him for very long once he's named the starter. So it's almost a gift that your second string guy is that far behind in the overall talent on the field and ability to produce. Because if he was close to the number 1 guy, he'd take his talent somewhere else. The fact that he knows he's not the number 1 guy puts him where he is. He's not going to want to just bolt out of there at first sight.
Sure. Absolutely. The comments are popping off really quick.
I see them. This is my favorite part.
Yeah.
The segues with the comments. Let's go. Hey, Sheffield.
Andrew Apple, I have a baby mustache. Baby boy is due around July 10th. Little 4th of July, baby. Let's go, baby. America, I love it. Congrats, Andrew. That's awesome. He has a heart condition. When you open a heart surgery, please pray for our family. Go Gators. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. We would definitely be thinking about you and have you in our prayers for sure, man. But I'm happy for you, man, that you're having a baby. Let's see.
Daniel's going to Daniel. He's back.
Daniel's back at it again. Xanders and Pitts were the same recruiting class.
They were. That's true. Correct.
What else we got? Alex says, I thought both defenses and offenses looked good. The defense stopped the run pretty good, especially with the past few years. Our defense was horrible stopping the run. I would agree with that. That would always frustrate me watching the game, is we would just get ran over in the defensive. Again, that was Bama. That was how Bama beat us. I feel like last past year, which is it just ran us over.
Yeah, but that's what Bama does to everybody. So if it happens to you, you don't feel too terribly bad about it. But that's just Bama's going to Bama.
Bama's going to Bama.
Donnell, that Finebaum is Saban's little B. It's crazy that everybody. I mean, look, he has just been on the Alabama bandwagon for so long. It's obnoxious at this point. The crazy part about Finebaum is he didn't even go to Alabama. He went to Tennessee. But he just has, for what I can always see of him, he's had no real love for his alma mater. He has always been on the Bama bandwagon to the point it's just obnoxious.
Daniel says, this is a little combo right here. Miller will hit the portal and go to Missouri. Chef says no one goes to Missouri.
Nobody goes quote unquote goes to Missouri. They get left there, or the plane takes off. And,
JT Daniels didn't even go there. I think I can see that happening. Probably not this year, but I think the kid's pretty decent. I think he knows, like, look, I've got to find a home somewhere. And I could see him leaving. Probably not. You guys are killing me. Tackling was good too. Tackling was a lot better. I will agree with that this time around. I mean, again, it's hard with the orange and blue game. They weren't really tackling hard, but due to injury. But I can't say that there were some tough hits. I'm like, yo, we can't no need to get hurt during practice.
This is thuds, guys. This is thuds. We're not taking everybody out. Muddy, I see your comment. So it's funny. Shelton and I talked about this a little bit pre-cast. We were going to bring it up just in some of the college football talk. Yes, Mims put himself in the transfer portal. 5-star offensive line recruit. I want to say he was the number 2 overall recruit in the portal. He committed to Florida State and then noped right out of that and just decided that, why would I leave the national champion to go to a school that's struggling to hit a bowl game consistently? So I can't exactly hate the idea. But I can understand where it's coming from. My gosh, why would you leave? It is weird. And the transfer portal is a little bit awkward, right? It's not like recruiting, where on signing day you put your signature on a piece of paper and now you're committed to that school and you have to go. When you're a transfer, you have to enroll for classes. You sign up, you have to show up and actually be in your class the very first time, or up to that point, you can back out. There is no like lock-in letter or letter of intent or anything like that. So the transfer portal is just it's a little shiesty, and a commitment out of the transfer portal shouldn't excite anybody, because that thing can disappear, as you can see here, in a heartbeat.
Donnell Gone says, yeah, Holly, why would any Tennessee grad pull for Alabama?
It's bizarre. I think because he found a niche audience in Alabama fans, and he blew up so fast that it would have made no sense for his professional career to turn his back on what got him famous in the first place. Look, it would make me vomit to be on some type of a podcast or a television show that did nothing but talk about the Florida Gators. I don't know how I would keep it together. I can see where he's coming from.
It's like a crying inside. It's like, I get it, Paul, I get it. Or as Brian Carter calls him, Brian Penis Feinbaum, whatever. I love it.
That stings a little on the inside.
I love it. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right, next we've got 4-star recruit Del Rio Bolts. He leaves.
Gone.
He's out of there. Look, I can't say I'm not surprised. Oh, what did I just do?
Oh, that's way too much of you. There we go.
I can't say I'm not surprised that he left. Again, we talked about there's a lot of talent in that room. So for him to leave, obviously, it makes sense. I was trying to get some insight to see if there's a reason why. I think, honestly, just he saw where he kind of fell on the totem pole and he wasn't anywhere close. I'm assuming probably what happened. Obviously, he kind of went his way politically, like, hey, I appreciate the opportunity, but I've got this time, I'm going to leave. But I wanted to see, like, hey, was it the coaching change? Was it the fact that, I came in being told one thing and he's not coaching the way that I thought it was going to be? Or because he had a quote when he signed with the Gators where he says, look, they make you earn it, they make you work for it, and they tell you if you're doing something wrong. And I like that. That was his before he signed with the Gators originally. So in the article I read, they put that back on there. I'm like, well, maybe what if Billy isn't doing that, right? What if Billy's just picking his guys and not the guys that are deserving it? Or maybe he feels that that's happening. I wanted to see if there was some juice there. There really wasn't much. But again, this is going to happen more so than we think. Also, too, it is good because of what Connor said last time. There's only, I believe, it was either 83 or 85 scholarships available, I think.
85. Yeah, it's an 85 scholarship limit. And
we were like 90-something, right?
Yeah, you definitely need. Well, you don't want to say it this way, but there needs to be attrition in order for you guys to be at the scholarship count at the start of the season. So attrition may mean that in the quarterback room where you're plenty well taken care of there, as we just talked about. We didn't even mention Kitna, who's also on the roster.
He's still there.
Scholarship. Yep. So I mean, look, I mean, 4 quarterbacks when you know that you've got your starter, you don't even have a battle for that anymore. I don't know. 3 scholarship quarterbacks seems like it'd be plenty.
Seems a little heavy. Yeah, and I get. Again, we need these guys to leave, honestly, because we have to make room for scholarships for the portal anyways, and that's what Connor was talking about. So this isn't the first. It's definitely going to lead to more, and hopefully it sets the trend for more people to realize, like, yo, we got to dip. And look, Billy has been, like we said, very transparent on, like, we have to go out and get some more talent here. So he keeps saying it. I think he's saying it in these press conferences to, like, hopefully ding a bell to these kids, like, yo, you ain't playing, dog. Get out of here.
Nope. Especially with the running back, he basically did like a corporate takeover where they bring all their own guys in, and you got no shot because he's played with that guy, he knows that guy. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes the writing is on the wall with where some of the choices on the roster may be, and if you were there for the old regime and you're not going to contribute, you ain't going to make it.
Absolutely. Looking at the comments here, what was I just see here?
Brian Carter, Ryan Bork, you just got your confirmation. He loves the Avs.
Yeah, they're having their own little bromance. They're having their own
love story was born. Right? You see what we're doing here, Shelton?
Yeah, we're creating romances. You're welcome.
Romances. My gosh, you didn't even have to swipe right.
We're like The Bachelor on steroids. Muddy says Napier is honestly going to be telling quite a few bit of guys that what we just said to transfer. I can't. Yeah, hate the transfer portal. Daniel, that's going to be, I think until they can kind of figure it out, that's going to be the headlines. Yes, Alex, we definitely need a wide receiver. Tight end is a need too. We talked about it a little bit. Xander's kind of stepping into that role, but I definitely agree that those are 2 spots that definitely need a lot of love. A lot of love. Because look, we can have AR and all the talent in the world, but if he's got nobody to throw to, we got to be concerned with him leaving. He's like, look, I can't. I can only do so much. Right? And I can't, like, and that might be a little bit of an egotistical thought for him to think, like, oh, I'm the best ever, but these wide receivers are just trash and I can't do my own. But with the portal and how things are running, they have to think like that. Like, if this guy is making me worse and the people around me aren't allowing me to be perform my best ability and I can go here and play tomorrow and look a lot better, I got to go.
Yeah, I'm with you. That makes sense. And it could be a situation where it's just a little bit talent deficit. It may be a situation where some of the wide receivers just don't pick up the system and they're just out of position. We'll have to see. I mean, look, there's a lot that goes on in installing a new offense. And even Connor mentioned it last week. One of the things that you really want to be able to rely on when you're bringing in a new coach, a new offensive scheme, a new quarterback for that matter, is having an offensive line that can give you some time to think and react. And it doesn't seem like that's going to be the strong point this year for him. So it could just be a little bit of a melting pot of meh coming out of the beginning of the year. Or at the end of the day, Anthony Richardson can run for 300 yards and pass for 200, and it won't matter what you do. So we'll see.
True that. So this next topic, I got a little flack, and I was a little hurt by it. I was like, maybe I'm overdoing it, right? I mean, sometimes you got to listen to the people, and sometimes they're right. And I now have come to the conclusion that I was right. They were wrong.
Oh, okay.
I did
conclusion all by yourself, did you?
Yeah, I did. I listened. I thought about it. I mulled over it for probably like 2 or 3 episodes, and now with the latest news, I've realized that I was right, and I should have stuck to the guns, and that's on me. And I let everybody down, and I apologize for that. It just came out that thank you. Before I do it,
scared money don't make money. You know?
That
that
incredible line is now what is it, copyrighted? Like what's the word? What are they doing to it? Trademarking the phrase "scared money don't make money." Come on,
they have applied for a trademark, yes,
because they have heard the people. I'm not saying that the swamp in the UF college campus has been watching High Top Sports, but on this latest article, and for the fact that they are making a trademark claim on this, tells me that one of these 1,000 subscribers just might be the University of Florida. I'm not. Look, it's all hearsay, but
could be
Scared
Billy.
money don't make money, you know.
You're going to have to turn that button off, Shelton. I said this to you precast.
No.
Look,
Nope.
once it's trademarked, that we're going to every single time you hit it, it's carving into our pocket. It's taking money out of the bottom.
It's worth the investment. It's worth the investment.
Fair enough.
Johnny said, "Told you to keep it going." Johnny, that was my bad. I should have listened to the other people. We had a few people coming in and just yelling at us about doing it too much, and I was like, maybe. Look, I get a little trigger happy. I like it. It's a colorful board. I get excited. So Steve's not going to tell me no. I'm like, whatever. He's like, whatever. Steve deals with a lot of it. That's
not even just this. I just deal with a lot with you in every day. So that's the least of my worries is your stupid button. My gosh.
I love this. I think it's really cool. I think it's buying in to the whole Billy Napier investment and just the idea, the culture of what he's trying to do. And it shows that, look, we hear the fans. We hear what you guys are saying, and we want to be part of it. Going back to the World Series ring, a lot of the organizations are starting to make the 12th man thing, right? Look, what Texas A&M has always done, but become more of a reality. And this is I think, a step to that. I mean, obviously, I love it.
Yeah, like actually turning the fans into their own entity,
Sure.
like you said, the 12th man. And the Braves have done a great job of that. And you give the fans the ability to identify with themselves as their own part of something that's a bigger picture, and they'll buy into that in a heartbeat. And that's it. This is a perfect example of it, where they're not just going to paint the name on or paint the phrase on the walls on the practice field, indoor practice field.
Yeah.
They're serious about it. It's going to be every damn where.
Yeah, I love it. Alex said, I believe it's from a song. I'm pretty sure it is too. Look, if they can get it done, awesome. But we'll see. Joe says, why would Billy Napier be under fire? So the reason we talked about this a little bit, because Finebaum kind of gave him some slack or some crap on the team's production and where they're going to be next year, and basically saying, like, look, the expectation is if they make a bowl game. And so everybody was obviously kind of roasting Billy for like, hey, what are you saying for that? Like, that was the first. I feel like this is the first time that Billy has had to deal with any flack, right? Like any negative press, in my opinion. I think everything has been good. Recruits. It's been, we're moving this way. We're moving. He got a little bit of flack when he moved the game, but nothing too serious. But this is the first person that came out and said, look, I think it's going to be worse than what we were expecting. And that was his first real controversial topic that he's had to deal with since being a Florida Gator. And that was kind of where that came from.
Yep. Yeah. And the other thing is, look, I mean, Florida didn't have the best record last year. Right now, they're not on the national stage with, some of the folks that are on the national telecast and things like that are talking about Florida. So this is the first time that anybody on a national stage on Finebaum's level has even had an opinion. Everything else has been local for Billy. It's been, Gainesville, Jacksonville, Orlando, Florida fans in specific. So it's been a lot easier until you get to that national level. And then you've got these guys that just come in with haymakers and say dumb Finebaum things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Real quick, Steve. Andrew says, hit that button again. So I just
Scared money don't make money,
No need to piss anybody off. Okay. Yeah, I've already pissed off enough people for not hitting it, and we're not gonna do it anymore. All right.
Where's the line? Where's the gray area?
There is no line anymore.
It's either too much or too little.
There's no more line. We're all in. We are all in. There's a question about the Jags in trading Debo Samuel. We're gonna get into that because that's actually a really good question. I talked about it a little bit today. Joe said he'll take a 7-5 record and run to the Gator football bank. I don't disagree with you, Joe. I don't want that, but I see where he's getting that number from, so I respect it. Look, you got to have clear expectations, and we have to be patient. I think that's the biggest thing we've been preaching the entire time. And if you're a Gator fan and you're really all in on Billy and scared money don't make money, you have to be patient. You have to expect a 7-5 type of year. So, and be okay with that and say, hey, that's a W. That was a really good year. Anything over that, obviously, is just woo, right? Anything below that is like, yeah, I can kind of see it. Now, obviously, if it's a complete waste, then someone's head's going to be on the chopping block. But I think correct expectations are definitely key here.
Yep, for sure. And look, I mean, especially with the first opening part of that schedule with Utah and just a couple of other giants that you guys got to go up against. It's realistic to see what last year ended like, and then what this year is up against. So again, I don't think Finebaum's way out of line. I think he's being his typical asshole self and just comes across abrasive and crappy. So screw Finebaum.
Donald Goen said, "What does Finebaum know? He's probably the water boy for the Pop Warner League." What did Brian Carter say? He would love to use it as his ringtone. Look, hey Brian, I could say it if you want me to say it. I could say "Scared Boy Don't Make Money." You can use. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we'll get into the Jag things. Let's tell Paul Penis Man to stop being jelly of Billy's pockets. His nickname for Paul is my favorite for sure. Everybody already knows this. It's no breaking news here, but I wanted to talk about it because it got a little bit. I mean, I guess no, it probably didn't, but it seemed to kind of cause a little bit of ruffled some feathers. It made some noise. AR was going a little too quick. All right, his 40-yard dash was a little hot and spicy, going about 105 speed limit.
105 on the 40-yard dash. It's amazing. He looked that fast against the Florida defense just on Thursday. So no surprise there.
So look, this to me, it's dumb. And he came out and he said, "Look, my mom told me like when you speed, not only are you putting yourself in danger, but you put other people in danger." So lesson learned. We have to remember these guys are kids. And to think that like, hey, something like that's not going to happen is crazy.
Yeah, but it's not like he killed a guy, you know.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Or two.
Yeah. Anything else while we're here, or you want to?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. So yes, I think. Look, Billy came out and talked about it. He said, "Look, we're handling it internally. He's dealt with it. He's acknowledged that, hey, he messed up, and that's all you can do. I think that we've done a good job of moving past it and moving on from it. And I think they did a good job of handling it. For them to think like that's not going to happen is a little crazy. This guy's living on top of the world. He's number one quarterback on the best football team in the country. So how do you not act out and have a little fun sometimes? You know what I mean? So." It happens, Steve.
Yeah, it's easy to be a celebrity in Gainesville.
This is true. At least he didn't steal Publix crab legs.
They are. I don't know. Have you ever had those? They are delicious. Delicious. Oh. My goodness. Let's have a seafood boil, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Muddy said he was very impressed with how AR apologized and addressed it. He did. He handled it. He handled it like you can. I mean, I think we got to move on and let it. Needs to be wrapped in bubble wrap. Look, you're putting yourself in danger too. That's the biggest thing, AR. We don't need you getting hurt, big dog. You saw how Jack Miller was throwing the football. Let's not get crazy here, big dog. Let's strap it up, lock it in, and let's get a little. Hey, you live in Gainesville. It's Scooter Town, big dog.
It's
okay,
Scooter Town.
We've talked about this.
105, you'll kill 9 people. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like go get a scooter. They're giving one away at the Orange and Blue game. Go apply. All right.
First 15,000 fans get a moped.
Oh, geez, Minetti. So real quick, Money brought up a good point. Deebo Samuel demanded a trade today. Okay. We've made a video about it. We've talked about it. Should the Jaguars trade their first pick? And I did see, surprisingly, I saw a few people on my Facebook page say, hey, why don't we trade Jackson or trade Deebo for the first round draft pick? And I thought about it for a second. I had a conversation with somebody and I was like, why not? And then it came to realization, like, look, it's not a good idea, right? You're going to trade a first-round draft pick for somebody who's going to be a young talent, a young potential talent to be a superstar, a cheap young talent to become a superstar, for somebody who's had one good year and pay them a lot of money because that's what they want. They want a lot of money, and we see what wide receivers have been getting for how many good years. Now, let's say it's 3 good years. Okay, let's just say it's that. The Jaguars are not in any place to win over the next 3 years. Even if they go out and get Deebo Samuel, they're not in a place to win over the next 3 years. Right? Why are you laughing? Are you laughing at the comments?
Deebo.
What'd I say? Oh, no, it's Deebo, okay? We're on a nickname basis.
That's it. Yeah, forever.
So, with that, right, it would be a complete waste to trade your first round. Now, if they got Deebo and a few picks, maybe. I know it's Deebo. If they traded him and got a few picks, could I see the value there? Sure. But just for Deebo? Nah, I got me cheesing. I can't do anymore.
That's it.
I don't think that's the play, because again, there's just the Jaguars are not in the place to winning right now. They're in the process of building. Trevor is not going to win over the next 2 years. He ain't Joe Burrow. Okay, just tell you right now.
Yeah. And there's not enough talent on the roster for him to step in and even play even average in the Joe Burrow shadow and be able to get as far as what the Bengals just did this year. Look, the main concern for me is that Jacksonville in the free agent market has struggled to lure talent in. Right, they get wooed by the New Yorks, the Miamis, some of these other more prominent teams that are in more metropolitan areas. Look, in 2 years when Debu's contract is up, there's no telling if we can even sign him, and if we can, he's going to want so much money, it's ridiculous. And we just dropped a ton of money on Christian Kirk, so now we've got all this money tied up in one wide receiver that's maybe above average in Kirk, and then Debu, he's kind of hit or miss on what his production could be. But that's just, you're giving your first round pick away, and you don't even know if you can keep this guy on your roster in 2 years. And that's even if he chooses to sign here. So, yeah,
I totally agree. So you're on the camp of sticking with the first round draft pick and going for Hutchinson?
Yeah. I would. Yeah, but the other thing is, and this is the one part of it that I could see the other side, why giving that pick away could make sense, and that's because this is one of the weakest drafts I've ever seen. So I don't know. Is your first round draft pick the number one overall? Maybe is a little bit too much, but your first round draft pick would absolutely, if you're in like the 12 to 18 range, I would absolutely give that pick up for Debu.
I don't think that it's a weak draft. It's just not an exciting draft. And so they're talking about wide receivers, and they're arguing of Debo being a wide receiver versus a running back. So where that's coming from is he was a very a versatile back. He was a cheat code in fantasy last year because he actually played running back a lot last year.
Yep.
His position is wide receiver, which made him a cheat code because you could put him in the wide receiver slot, but he was putting up running back like numbers because he was coming out of the backfield like a running back. Because Elijah Mitchell was hurt, they were struggling a little bit, and he was still catching balls, right? It was still obviously a wide receiver, but he was versatile, and it was the first time him and Cordell Patterson were the first to really kind of break that out this season. We haven't seen anything like that before. You see running backs that can catch balls outside the backfield, but not be an impactful running back and a wide receiver in the way that he was.
Yep. No, and there's been in the back of the day there was a tight end that did that where he would line up at the tight end position. He was listed as a tight end / running back, and then they would go in motion. He would drop back into the halfback position, and they would hand the ball off, and then they would go no huddle, and he lined back up at the tight end position, and they dropped the ball off to him. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but that was the first time I had ever seen that hybrid player. Obviously, Cordell Patterson is the most recent one that's been consistent year over year. But yeah, look, Debo was absolutely a cheat code. If you had him, you could plug him in on your flex spot and just get all kinds of points out of him.
Would you say that he would help you win a fantasy football championship type of cheat code?
I would never say that.
No. Okay. Would you say if you traded for him and you won your fantasy football championship because of that trade, would you say that was pretty impressive?
I would say that that's a rigged league.
Oh, you're a loser.
Oh boy.
So good question as always, Muddy. We were talking about that, so it's a fun one. I don't think it's worth the trade. I really don't. It sounds fun. It looks appealing, but when you really break it down, I don't think it's the move. Really quick, let's do some Braves talk, boys and girls. It's Braves country time. It's baseball time. Let's just go over the facts here. If you've been a Braves guy for a while, you know Sean Newcomb's been with the Braves for a little bit. He made some splash 2 years ago. He showed some great light. This guy was going to be the next Chris Medlin. And if you're a Braves fan, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, thought he was going to be the dude. Then he struggled. We put him in the bullpen, and that was last year. He played the bullpen, did okay. Came back this year, still a bullpen guy. Blew it Monday night against the Dodgers. They designated him. Gone for assignment. Out of here. See ya. Hope he finds a home, but good riddance, because every time I saw him come in. Here. Yeah. Just gritting my teeth. Yona, he was sitting down finally. The guy is just a disaster of a pitcher right now. He's got to figure himself out. So it was snit. Good call. Watching him on Monday was heroic. I can't even think of the word. It was just so bad.
Atrocious.
Atrocious. Him and Newcomb just came together and just made me
I'm
just
here for you.
thank you. Just hate baseball. Ronald Acuna is looking to make a way back here. He's at the Gwinnett Stripes right now. He's actually here in Jacksonville playing the Jumbo Shrimp. So maybe we can go see him, Steve, if you're free.
I can make time for Acuna.
Yeah, he's destined to be back May 1st, that first week. And then we had a beautiful love story this past week with Freddie Freeman. The guy comes in, game 1, right? First at bat, home run. I mean, it's Hollywood, people. You couldn't write it up any better than that. Follow up with game 2, okay? We're up 3-1. Kenley Jansen, former Dodger closer, comes in to close for the Braves, okay? We've got the 9th batter, the first batter, the third batter. The third batter is Freddie Freeman. There's 2 outs. Freddie Freeman's up to the plate. Kenley Jansen, he gets Freddie Freeman to pop out. So we close out. He starts off the series with a homer. He ends the second game with an out, and he starts game 3 with another homer. The guy, it's just, look, it was hard to watch, but it was a fun series. The war has lost, or the battle's lost, but the war's not over. I figure we're one day at a time, Steve. Cut me some slack.
I'm with you. I was there. Look, I was right there for you. Like, I was the wind beneath your wings. If you fell, I was going to pick you right back up.
Thank you. So next thing we have, Steve, my question to you, is pizza better than chicken salad?
Wow, you really bring hard-hitting questions tonight, Sheldon. I would say that in the right scenario, chicken salad might be better than pizza.
Well done, Steve. Well done.
I'm not drinking tonight, so I feel like I'm actually smart.
Yeah, you're dialed in. You're dialed in.
My gosh.
Pizza is definitely better than chicken salad. There's never a time or a day or a place where pizza is not greater than chicken salad. And I think this is where we're going to start the great debate, because there is some chicken salad lovers out there. I know there is. My wife is one of them. She loves chicken salad. My mom loves chicken salad. Chicken salad, I'm not. To me, it's a weird. It just doesn't make sense. It's just two things that just. You can have chicken on salad, right? Like a good Cobb salad from Chick-fil-A with chicken on it. That's cool, right? But when you just say chicken salad together, it gets weird, right?
It's a texture thing.
Yeah. What are you trying to? Who are you? What are you? Are you a salad? Are you a pasta? Are you like a chicken with like sides just mixed together? Are you like a smoothie? We don't know what's going on down there. And when I look at it, I don't want to get dirty with it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can understand that.
So now that we've displaced our feelings and our thoughts on chicken salad versus pizza, there is a running back for the Pittsburgh. I don't even know their name. Maulers.
Yeah, I believe so. It's the USFL team.
The USFL team. I had to. The team name is kind of funny. Yeah, the Maulers. I killed that. Yeah, the Maulers. Pittsburgh Maulers.
Nailed it.
So the guy came out. The coach comes out and he basically says this whole spiel. How they have a no. Basically, he gave them a little packet, and in the packet it says like, "Hey, we have a no tolerance policy. Like, you're not going to disrespect your players. You're not going to disrespect coaches or the people around us. We're creating a culture. Here's a culture. You have to live by it, or we're not taking any prisoners." They bring the guy in. They go, "Hey, I handed you this. We talked about it. Sorry, this is a hard part of the job, but you had an incident with the cafeteria about chicken salad and pizza, and we're not going to do it that. Going to have to let you go." And the guy was like, "Well, can I talk?" No, listen, the decision is made. It's got to let you go. Now, I'm breaking this up into 2 pieces, okay? The first piece is the firing part, all right? For anybody in the political or in the work-life balance, the work industry, the firing was exceptional. An A+ firing. That is how you handle a firing. Honestly, to our boss, if you want to know, just watch out of fires, send that out to the floor, because it was executed perfectly. The reason why I know I work
follow-up training, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, seriously, I thought it was Mark Robles for a minute, okay, because of how perfectly executed this was. I've been in a room where I've seen that happen live. I'm like, yo, this guy, him and Mark must have hung out. Yeah,
butter.
It's like, hey, here's what it is. No exceptions. You're gone. He goes to rebuttal. Listen, man, the decision's already been made. We're done here. Gets up and leaves the guy. All right, leaves the guy. Yep. So. You have some insight. I wanted you to go with what your intake. You did some research. You did some Sherlock Holmes on this. Talk to us, Stevie.
Okay, look, he's a little heavy set. He's the heavy bruising back of the Maulers. He's a star. The man did not want that chicken salad. He is a texture fella. Texture. And that pizza was meatball. And damn it, he wanted that meatball pizza. And he was going to tell that cafeteria lady, he had like flashbacks to like 6th grade sloppy joes. I'm not eating that shit. I want that pizza. And damn it, he was going to get that pizza. And it cost him his job. I hope it was delicious. I really do.
Okay. So are you so you also said that you looked at his research. He was kind of being a dick. It was a little bit more than what was let on.
Yeah. Look, I mean, so look, there was some things from the Pittsburgh side that said the guy had some attitude issues in the locker room. The guy had some attitude issues with the coaches, maybe even a little bit on the field. But look, he got there. It was a little bit of a robust conversation and got a little bit mouthy. I think that was the straw that broke the pizza camel's back. But but I think it was a little bit more coming than what it was. I don't think it was just a chicken salad versus pizza debate. I think this guy was just being an asshole in general, and they said enough's enough.
Okay, so they came out with a little spiel here. Spiel here. God,
are you drinking tonight?
I need to be.
My goodness.
They said, look, on the first episode of United by Football, the camera showed us cutting a team. The show captures hundreds of hours of film with that intent of providing transparency to fans, but unfortunately, much of the context was left out of this moment. Smith had violated 3 team rules in a 24-hour span. In this particular incident, disrespected cafeteria worker, which wasn't captured on camera. And then he says that the running back reached out back to the coach and apologized. He's like, I'm going to be a better man because of this. The guy, Devon Smith, this is why I love social media. This is where social media just thrives because everyone has a voice now. It's not just I get to say it and it ends there, right? Devon said, I was never made aware that I violated any team rules. I let alone 3 in a 24-hour span. I never disrespected anyone. Coach Kirby and I spoke after being released. In that talk, he said that he would certainly vouch for my character. And then he said, somebody said, Ron Selski, somebody tweeted, I was the operations manager for the Tampa Bay Vipers. I worked with Devon Smith every day. 0 issues, professional respect. It's funny to see he's out here getting pissed and kind of yelling at everybody. So there's 2 parts here. I do agree that there is multiple sides. A+ on the grading. On the firing scale, again, we don't see everything. I think there may need to be probably some more research because you're only getting the cafeteria's perspective, right? But at the same time, if you're trying to set a standard of like, look, it's a no bullcrap rule. If somebody feels that you're disrespecting them, but again, they could be out to get him too, so you do need to do your research. But to me, if he's acting like this and acting out on Twitter, he's not doing himself any favors. And to me, it's like you're just basically making everything that they're claiming true because I know you're trying to defend your honor, but there's a way that you do that and a way that you handle that. And I don't think you going on Twitter trying to say like, it's not me, woe is me. Unfortunately, even though we have this platform, it's not the way. And I was on his side until I honestly was clicking through. I was like, look, I can kind of see where he's coming from. But because it's chicken salad. But when you're on Twitter yelling about it, you kind of lose points.
Yeah.
And exactly. for those reasons, you're fired.
The thing that you're fired. Yeah. Hey, look, the decision's already made. I got to go.
Yeah, he literally left. Sean said that's the sauce I need, but I had to rent a minivan Tongo to work today. So Brian, you said you deliver pizza. Is that true? He says I deliver pizza. Where do you deliver pizza to? Maurice Colburn says I say pizza. It can be prepared with many different types of toppings. Although I make a damn good chicken, and then he put a salad emoji. I appreciate the emoji. That really makes it a lot better. Muddy says who has the best pizza? Domino's. I love this question. Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars. Why Muddy? What or Tostitos? This is a great question. Let me go into this really quick. We're not going to take, this is the sports podcast, but we can always talk pizza.
We can always talk pizza. Let's be serious.
This is not going to be a popular opinion, or it may be. I know that this company came out and had a full-blown campaign about how their pizza was cardboard and dog shit. I love an honest beat. He delivers for Domino's. Brian, you're going to love this. I love honesty, okay? Domino's came out and said, hey, our stuff tastes like dog shit. There is never a time or a day that I will not order Domino's. I have to fight when friends in our family and Caitlin, hey, we're going to order pizza, Domino's. It's not a question. Domino's by far is the greatest pizza. They have the nice little garlic bread. It's just something about the pepperoni is different. The cheese is different. The crisp, The crispiness of bread to cheese ratio is always perfect. It's just, to me, it's a no-brainer. Little Caesars, what they went on, cheesy bread. The pizza is atrocious. And then toast.
You get 2 of them. You get 2 pizzas. It's pizza.
I don't care. It's trash. That's why they're giving 2 away. They're hoping to just so you don't go anywhere else.
Nobody will buy just one.
Yeah. And then Tostitos. Tostitos is a class of its own. Okay, Tostitos will never die. It's one of those. No. It's one of those things that you can. It's honestly, you could eat it at any time. When Ricky got married, and we went to. I don't know if you know this, but when Ricky got married, where the house was in the middle of nowhere. So Ricky and I, 2 dudes, going to go shopping. We're like, fuck it, we'll just get Tostitos. We got 4 massive Tostitos, and we ate that for the entire 2-3 days we were there before we got married. So we had just Tostitos, and then we had a night, and we had pizza for dinner. That was his wedding meal, was pizza, not chicken salad.
Not chicken. Dude, Tostino's Pizza has been. It should be its own food group because it'll get you through college.
I don't consider it pizza. It's honestly, if it's in the pyramid, it's like its own category.
It's like the tip of the pyramid. It's like all the things that you need, your carbs, your proteins, your fats, Totinos. It's right there at the top. It doesn't mean it's the most important. It's the smallest piece of the pyramid, but it's up there.
It has a spot. It has a spot. This is awesome. Muddy says, I love Little Caesars. I got it for free for 2 years. Well, that's a fun. How you can still love it after eating it for free for 2 years is beyond me. And Ryan agrees with him. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what button to hit, but we have Ryan and Muddy are finally on the same page. We got rim shot. What do you want? I don't the old intro. We're going insane. This is absolutely incredible.
Oh man, Brian Carter, you better watch your back, brother. Buddy's on the prowl. Brian
Carter, the guy, the expert. Maybe we have him on for a pizza expert. I can tell you anything you want to know. I've worked for Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Papa John's. The guy is a pizza expert. Caesars is like Taco Bell of the pizza game. This guy, do we have a pizza guru in here just dropping bombs on us? I love this guy. Our group of people are just absolutely incredible. This is so fun. I love it.
Bork agrees with me. Little Caesars, you can't go wrong. It's 2 pizzas.
You guys are crazy.
But look, I do love a good stuffed crust. That's my favorite because when you get down to the end of the crust, it's not just bread. You have your own little breadstick built into the pizza that you can dip in there. Let's go.
We would like to thank USFL for this great segment because without them, we wouldn't be here.
We would not be having this conversation.
And honestly, I didn't think it would go to that point, but honestly, I'm glad that it did. So
sorry about your job, big guy. Dante, I think that was your name.
Devon Smith.
Devon, your loss is our gain. So thanks from High Top, sincerely.
So, you know what I learned today, Steve? You know what I learned?
So much. What?
No. Here's what I learned. No matter the differences, no matter how much we may disagree or mom jokes or attacks on our wives because Ryan and Muddy were going at it earlier, or for the fact that Daniel is a Dogs fan and we obviously cheer on the winning side of things, except you because you're an FSU fan, that food will always bring us together. And that's why we eat at a round table. No matter what, politics aside, you put a good slice of pizza in front of us, we can all get together and enjoy some good food.
We'll all have a party. You bring some pizza, we'll have a party. That's just how pizza parties work. And who doesn't like a good pizza party?
You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. Octave and Cador, what do y'all think about UFC taking about the SEC East? I think it's going to take some time. That's what we were talking about earlier. Somebody who was in here earlier, I wanted to read their comment. He was saying year 1, 7-5, year 2, 9-3, year 3, national champions.
National championship. Yeah, I saw that.
I think it was Joe. I love it, Joe. I love your hot take. I think it's going to be a while, Octavian, before the SEC East. I think Georgia's going to have a little bit of a run for a while. A&M's going to have a good run. It's going to be a fun battle. That part I do know. Is A&M in the West or the East? I can't remember.
The West.
Yeah, okay.
They play Bama out. They play Bama.
That's what I thought. As soon as I said that, I think I messed that part up. So look, Georgia's going to have a good run. I think Tennessee's going to make a good run. Kentucky looks good. And it's weird to say those teams because, as Florida fans, we're not used to those guys being good. But look, we've had a string of bad coaches that have allowed us to get to this point. Because honestly, to be fair, it's on Florida for not being patient. And it's going to take some. He says he thinks we'll go 11-2. It's a bold move, Connor.
Oh boy.
It's a bold move. I think I love it. I want to. I was talking about this earlier. I was super optimistic about the season, but I'm a little nervous. I would love to go 11-2. I'm going to be cheering my heart out and expect to go 11-2. But then there's going to be a second level where it's like, look, I also know that coming off last year, my expectations are not going to be as high. So.
Sure. Look, I think, but we can say this for both teams. Like you obviously want to win every game with your heart, right? Your heart says that you got a shot to win every game. It doesn't matter if you're going up against, Tom Brady and the Bucs. You got a shot. It's a little bit one. Your brain tells you otherwise. But the one thing that you want to be able to walk.
That's why I play the game.
That's it. But even if there's a loss, even if you take a loss, you just want to be able to say, damn, we played our hearts out. We played a really good game. We just came up a little bit short. And you just want to feel like you can build off something from 1 week to the next.
Sure.
It's like having your heart ripped out by losing a game at the last second against Notre Dame and then coming up and losing to Jacksonville State the very next week. It just doesn't make any damn sense, and it'll kill you inside.
It's honestly like if your team was the number 5 ranked team in the nation, they came to Jacksonville, you go to Jacksonville with your boys, sit first base line to watch your team lose to the 23rd ranked. It's like that, right?
Yeah, the team that's also not ranked any longer. Correct. That subsequently lost 5-0 with 14 strikeouts just a week later.
Steve takes a punch better than anybody that I know. I absolutely love it.
Let's roll, baby.
Mama has a hot take. She said, back to the pizza debate. She said, I will take Leonardo Pizza in Gainesville. So it's a little pizza shop in Gainesville, and I don't think I've had it, but we went there this past weekend for my Meemaw. Now she's a Gigi because we just introduced little baby Walker here for her birthday, and my they were going nuts for the pizza. They were wanting to pick it up. I was like, we need to get home. Daniel Riviera, we have some breaking news here. Says, "Go Dogs, bro. Go Gators. Go FSU." That was hard to say. Let the bad taste in mouth. See what pizza can do, guys.
Oh boy.
I think we're creating a case for Devon Smith here that look, he wasn't wrong in what he wanted. Look what it does. It brings everybody together. Maybe the coach should be fired.
Man of the people. He's a man of the people. Oh my gosh.
Him said if we beat Utah, I believe we win 9+ games. I think look, that's when we said that, I think the starting games is what's going to matter, right? How does it start? If we start hot, then the guys can believe they can win. That's all it takes. Look, Atlanta was the Braves are a prime example. You just kind of get a couple things going, and it's look, we can do this shit. We just might be those MFers. You know what I mean? Sure. So I think that's going to be the tell. If we go out there and beat the Utes, there's going to be a little bit of swagger on campus. Now, how does Billy manage that? That's going to be that's going to be huge. But that game's going to be huge. Tennessee and Kentucky, those three games, we come out 3-0. Hell, I'm telling you, anything is possible at that point. I think the guys going in there are going to be like, "Yo, we're a football team, baby. Let's get this ball rolling."
Yeah, I'm with you. Look, the momentum matters. It's you get a couple of wins under your belt. Especially if you beat a team convincingly, the confidence level goes up. Maybe you even start feeling a little bit looser on your play calling. You start calling a game a little bit more relaxed as opposed to kind of close to the vest because you're worried about a turnover here being what makes or breaks a game. Like it changes everything to feel confident going into a game because you've had some recent success, especially coming out of the gate for Florida.
Absolutely. Moving on, Joe West. Now, Steve didn't know who Joe West was till I showed him. So there's a great possibility that you guys don't know who Joe West is. So I'm gonna have to
disappointed in myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Gonna have to kind of let you guys in. Look, this isn't like the hottest topic on the internet by any stretch of imagination, but it's a fun one, and I wanted to kind of go over a little bit. Joe West is this guy. I'm trying to pull the picture up. Hold on, guys. Give me a sec. Is this guy right here? This big boy right here. he's an ump for the MLB. He 5,460 games. That's the name of his new podcast. And it's fun. It's cool because if you like baseball, you know Joe West. What's his fun fact, Joe? What's his fun fact, Steve?
His fun fact of the day, the Joe West fun fact of the day, is he has 193 career ejections. Tied for first is one Bobby Cox with 4 from this one umpire. This guy did not like Bobby Cox one iota. Bastard. They did not like each other. I remember Bobby now with the Joe West picture. I remember Bobby Cox flying out of that dugout a couple of times, and Joe West, just being as big as he was, they just go at it like 2 inches from each other's face. So yeah, that's Bobby Cox has been on the receiving end of of 4 of Joe West's 193 career ejections.
So Joe West is a love. Look, just to kind of give you an idea of the Joe West saga, right? How people feel about him. Okay, here's 2 tweets. All right, the first one says, the tweet is Joe West starting a podcast. The person that retweets it says, "Thank God, must listen." The next person says, "Really cool that Joe West named his podcast after how many calls he blew during his career." So it's a very love-hate for Joe West. I am beyond stoked for this because the umpires are the Swedens of the world. They have to play this middle ground, and they get to see a lot because, and think about it, they see everything. They're the fly on the wall because they see all the bickering because nobody really realizes they're there until they make a bad call. Then you're like, screw that guy, right? But up until that point, you don't see them, but they see everything. They hear everything. They're part of a lot. The stories that are going to come out of this, I'm hoping, are going to be absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be really, really cool just to see this insight. It's new for the fact that people know who Joe West is for being an umpire is pretty cool. We were talking about this precast. You really can't name too many umpires. There's the guy from the NBA who rigged. Everyone knows that guy. I can't think of his name, but because
and yeah, that one I know.
There you go.
Guy had guns the size of my.
No, that's the NFL. That's the NFL. I'm talking about NBA. Ed Hochley was Ed Hochley's the NFL.
Yeah, there's an NBA guy.
There's an NBA guy who wasn't jacked, but he was betting on games. And
that guy. Yeah. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Again, he's another one that as soon as I saw his face, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that asshole.
I couldn't even think of his name. But yes, Ed Hochley, though, he's like one of the NFL's guys have a little bit different because obviously they have their moments where they talk and you kind of have that one-on-one with them. You have a moment with them. And if they're yoked like Ed Hochley, then you kind of have a moment and you're like, yo, guy's kind of ripped. But look, I think it's really cool. I wanted to talk about it. I'm a big baseball guy, so I think it's fun. It's going to be cool to hear about. Let's
Tim
get back to
Donaghy, by the way, is the NBA guy that got caught. Look, the one thing I will say about the Joe West podcast that I'm interested to hear, and this is one thing that I hope he touches on, is some of the dialogue that goes on between the umpire, the catcher, and the pitcher while they're going through the pitch count. And when you're calling a strike, like what kind of like little side words do you get from the catcher, like, hey, good call, or if it's a ball, like, what are you thinking? Or is there a little bit of like in that little tiny square that they're all kind of stuck in for that at bat? Is there a little bit of banter back and forth on a quiet level as they go through that? I just love to hear like what happens in that scenario.
Yeah, I see it all the time. That's a solid point. Where like sometimes it's not always it's not always bad banter. Like they'll talk back and they'll laugh and they'll say something like, "What the hell could you possibly be talking about to this umpire right now?" Like, what do you like? What's going down? Like, hey, how the kids? Like, hey, like you look back like, no, that was a good pitch. Like, what's happening? Like, I see it and they're laughing. I'm like, what do you
call that a strike? I didn't even see it.
Yeah, what are you laughing at? Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's cool. Like again, there's always the good and the bad with things, and this is where I think social media is cool because we're able to see things that we haven't ever been able to see before. So I love it.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Buddy says, go Miami Heat. Dude, they look absolutely dominant. For some reason, the Miami Heat aren't getting any love by being the number 1 seed. Nobody cares to watch. Nobody cares to like really say they're going to win because nobody considers Jimmy Butler to be a superstar. Jimmy Butler is a superstar, okay? He's not loud and he's not as like flashy as, let's say, like a Joel Embiid or a James Harden or LeBron James. Maybe you can say but Damian Lillard's pretty quiet, so I wouldn't even say that. A Draymond Green or a Stephen Curry, right? It's like that. He kind of keeps to himself. He's about W's, but the guy is good, and the team is really good. I made a bet in November on Miami to win the whole damn thing. Now, maybe it was a little biased, sure, but I don't usually bet on my teams unless I really feel like, hey, these guys are good, and I think they're really good. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, look, I love Jimmy Butler just for the memes. I don't know if you've ever seen some of the meme game that Jimmy Butler he wears his emotions on his face, and like some of the facial expressions that this guy has busted out in his career are simply amazing. Like the GIFs, if you ever want a good GIF game going, if you got to get your GIF game on and you got to get a point across, you search Jimmy Butler GIFs, and the man has an emotion for anything that you could possibly type. That's your dude right there. Jimmy Butler all day.
The fact that you brought this up is absolutely beautiful because Steve and I we didn't plan this. So I've got a buddy of mine that lives in Palm Coast. He's a Raptors fan. but he loves a good basketball game. And 2 years ago, when Miami was making their run and they were doing really well, I was commenting on his post because he was making posts about like LeBron and stuff, and I would just hit him with the Jimmy gifts, like the or the right, like out of nowhere, and he was loving it. And that was the way we communicated during the entire playoffs. No words were exchanged, just gifts. Last year, gifts. This year, I saw him about a month ago at his brother's wedding. Haven't spoke to him since. Miami gets the first W. Drop a little Jimmy Butler gift on his profile picture. I love that you brought that up because I was telling Caitlin about it today because I'm such a nerd, and I was like, it's cool to see kind of how like dudes interact. Like we get excited with the dumbest shit sometimes. I love it.
What's crazy is we did not talk about that.
I know. We didn't even talk about Miami.
But no, we didn't talk about the playoffs. We were like, this is boring.
Playoffs.
That's funny that came up.
All right, we're gonna have a little heat here. We're gonna have a little heat. We got Kyrie Irving flipping off the fans. Steve, you're gonna go first. You're gonna give me the hot take. What's your take? Go ahead. You beat yourself up.
So we've seen a number of times where fans just give these players hell. I get the fact that the fans can get under your skin, but that's what they are. They're fans. They're fanatic for their team. Does it go overboard sometimes? Absolutely. But like some kind of a Harry Potter wizarding spell, all the player has to do is just wave two fingers at the security guard and poof, that player is gone. So in a scenario where there might be a fan that's getting under your skin, take just one moment, Kyrie, just take it in for a second and realize in the 17 seconds that I'm going to play basketball, I'm going to make more money than that family does for the next 10 years. And then when you think about that for just 1 second, maybe take your finger and put it back in your pocket and go play basketball, you twat muffin. God, what a weenie.
That was such a good take. That was so good.
It's so just what is.
It was way better than I thought it would be.
Thank you. God.
All right, so I hear you. Now I have an argument that's gonna make you win. I'm gonna save it, and you didn't use it, so I'm gonna save it now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna make my defense, and then I'll beat me. I love it. Look, I agree with what you said. Like, yes, sometimes like you got to just shut up and keep moving and ignore it. It's the play. We're talking about playoffs, not a game, playoffs, right? It's hot, it's heavy. People are there chanting, Kyrie sucks. He played for the Celtics. There is some bad blood there. Like we just got done talking about this entire podcast where the organizations are starting to make the fans part of the team, right? I mean, they've always been part of it, but it seems more than ever with social media. Look, I'm here. I'm here to get in your head. I am here to mess you up and fluster you. Now, my man went on a tear because of this, right? But I enjoy it. That's what we want. At the end of the day, they are humans. I love to see the interaction. It wasn't hostile. He didn't get aggressive. It's a simple finger. It's a simple sign saying like, suck it. Now, you can't just make the argument he should just answer with his skill, which he was doing too. But to me, it's a subtle way of like, I hear you. Let's rock, baby. I mean, there's the iconic moment of Reggie Miller and Spike Lee when he looks back and he does this. Like, we talk about it because now the reason why he doesn't get a lot of flack for it because it's Spike Lee, right? Because it's another superstar. So that's where I guess the line is. But I love it. Now, the argument you should have made that would have killed everything.
Go on.
What was the fact, and this I hate this argument, and I'm gonna talk about a GOAT argument here in a minute that this made me lose, was there's kids there.
Yeah,
and when he throws
that's
up
assumed.
Yeah, but so that's my thing of like, look, somebody's taking their family there, their kids there to watch you play basketball. Now, there's other people yelling grotesque stuff around you, but you're supposed to be a role model. You're supposed to be an idol. And that's what it gets me every time. I'm like, I got nothing for you. You're right. Like, it sucks because me too. Like, I want to, like, in those moments, you want to be cocky, you want to be arrogant, you want to yell, you want to cuss. And sometimes we're going here, we're on cussing. I know people don't like to hear that, but that's who we are. We like to enjoy it. Like, right. That's what we do. And so that's where I kind of, I get the winning point. The GOAT argument. I was arguing with the guy at a bar. about this, and I have always said that Tiger Woods is the GOAT, and there's a lot of people who think Jack is the GOAT, especially older people who think Jack is the GOAT. To me, like the LeBron and Jordan conversation is a complete waste of time. The Jack and Tiger one is a legit conversation. The guy says, he goes, you know why Jack's the GOAT? Not because he has more majors, which he does, but because he had a family. He managed a family outside of golf. It wasn't just golf. So not only was he the GOAT of golf, but he was the GOAT as a dad. He didn't have the 18 wives. He has like 4 or 5 kids, and he managed having a wife during a time, because I've read his son's book, where money wasn't like it is now. So he had to leave his wife and family while he went and played golf and made money and came back and managed raised a great family of 4. Now, not knocking on Tiger being a great dad or any stretch, because I think he's done a great job of being a dad, but the family aspect, Tiger obviously failed it. And when he said that, I was like,
okay.
Well, damn. That was that was probably one of the best. I didn't have a comeback. Now, when the guy left, I was like, the guy's an idiot. Tiger's obviously the greatest of all time. But it was definitely one of those arguments. I was like, look, that's part of the game. I think that's definitely part of it. Is like, hey, you manage the image better than anybody, on all accounts, right? Nothing fell flat. So and he started a brand, so he did everything he could.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Look, the reason I didn't bring up the kids thing is you said it was a hot take. I mean, I got to get it in and out within 30 seconds. This thing's gone on for damn near 2 hours. These people have to go to sleep. How long do you think I can pontificate about one topic, Shelton? My gosh.
That was a little aggressive. I didn't deserve that. Brian said NBA is called the national bounce around the league game. No love, no more for basketball. They have no love. They will jump ship in a minute. They're like a hooker. Give them money, get off, and leave. Oh my God. That is a hot take, Steve. Okay? That is what a hot take is. Brian Carter is clearly he's not delivering pieces tonight because he's delivering zingers one after the other. Hey, that was a zinger. Oh man, I love it.
Look, and the romance is back. Ryan Bork couldn't agree more.
Oh yeah, they're right where they left off.
Sorry, Muddy, you're out.
All right. Back to the beards thing. I mentioned earlier in the cast, I'm growing a baby beard, right? Relatable to playoff beards. And then it got me thinking, look, my beard is the reason why my marriage is still going. Because if I don't have a beard, I am one ugly son of a bitch, okay? Beards are the makeup for men. That's what we got. We don't get to put pretty stuff on our faces. We get to grow this thing, and for some reason, it makes us come together a little bit. Nobody gets to see the ugly double chin. They don't get to see kind of the raggedy skin on our cheeks. It kind of just fills in our roundness for our head. And it gets it gets the people going. It's what they want. All right?
Sure. We'll go with that. I like that.
So
in
got us
that
thinking.
Essence,
yes.
Let's talk about some of the best beards of all time.
Or what this is? It's the before and after. It's proving our fact that the beard makes you go from a 4 to a 5 to an 8, possibly a 10, without a shadow of a doubt.
I can see it, especially since most of these guys who are growing these beards are because there's a playoff game or a baby involved,
or because they're ugly,
of some significance, or because they're hideous. Yes, so
all
of those reasons.
The first being James Harden. That man without a beard would not have a job in the NBA. I can almost guarantee it. I don't care if he puts up 45 points. If they saw, I promise you, if he walked out onto the court without the beard, they're like, yo, this guy ain't playing. I'm sorry, I can't put you in.
They wouldn't let him play. They wouldn't recognize him. They wouldn't let him play. They'd kick him out. They'd give him the finger on the way out and just be like, get this kid out of here. He looks like he's 9 years old.
Yeah, look, like he's definitely, the beard is definitely upped him up a little bit. So Chuck Norris has a beard. Thank you, Andrew Apple, I think it's Apple, Appel. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Give me another one, Steve.
Let's go Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott has one hell of a
glorious
hair strap going on down there.
Glorious. Another one I can think of, you pulled up earlier, Julian Edelman. The guy with a beard the guy without a beard is something else. The guy with the beard, an absolute tank. He goes from like an 8.5, 9 to like a 12.5, 15 with his beard. The only one that I can think of that looks just impeccable without a beard is Tom Brady. Tom pulls off not having a beard better than anybody that I know. Who else you got?
Oh man, that's going to be a tough one. Let's go baseball. Let's go baseball.
Baseball.
Dallas Keuchel.
Dallas Keuchel. Past Brave.
I mean, look, yes, exactly. And I went there for you. I figured you would like that one.
Dallas Keuchel has an incredible beard. Definitely makes him a little more scarier. Brian Wilson. That's a great one, Muddy. Oh,
San
man.
Francisco, yeah.
Phenomenal
Well, he's
beard.
the Dodgers now.
Before the beard?
Yeah, not so good. But look, his whole persona changed. He went from being, Brian Wilson, and then he came out there with that caveman beard on, and he was just fearsome. He was just look at you, mean mug you. Like, you just didn't, like you thought that there might be, like, a third fist behind that guy's beard. It was so fierce. Like, oh, my gosh.
Sheffy going back to the 70s. He says, Glenn Hubbard, Braves second baseman. Sheffy, you're reaching in the back pocket, my guy. Whoa.
I gotta Google that. Glenn Hubbard, huh?
Glenn Hubbard. Another great one is Birdman. From Miami Heat, started with the Denver Nuggets. He had the mohawk, no beard, maybe a little bit of a tread, shaved the head, grew this massive, just glorious beard, and just became a man amongst men. Like,
look,
I remember
the one time that I think a beard might interfere with your overall look. I mean, it blocked all of his neck tats. You couldn't see the neck tats anymore.
Didn't matter. Guy made it happen. Who else you got, Steve?
Not so much of a. We'll talk about that one there, Borky. Not so much of an athlete. I guess he became a UFC fighter. Little less known, but Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice's beard, literally nothing else, just his beard. Could
just
kick
the beard.
Your ass. Just the beard itself. Joe Thornton, nice call, Bork. That is tremendous. And not only is it tremendous, the beard itself, but it's like color coded. It's like gray and then
wow,
and then gray and then brown. This thing, the contest is over. Oh, and the before and after.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta share the screen. Share the screen. Hold on. This is just too good. This is spot on here. Jason Kidd. Okay, you guys can see that, right? Let me make it bigger. All right, so that's a picture before. You see that?
This one right here in the middle, yeah.
No, the one to the right here. This one here.
Oh, well, no, he's got a beard there. This guy right here in the middle.
Oh, you're right. That's the before.
That's the start. That's the start of this.
Now look at him.
Yeah, go to the one in the Toronto jersey. And look, you see what I mean? It's like somehow color coded to fall in line. Like, look at the Toronto jersey one where he's playing. It's like it's perfect. I don't understand.
Right here.
Crazy.
Right here.
The one on the white. Yeah.
Well, they're both Toronto.
Thing. It's gray. Oh yeah, it is. It's gray. It's brown. It's gray. It's brown. It's gray again. Like,
ready for this one? You forgot about this guy.
I didn't forget, baby.
Look at that thing. Dude, that thing is in all shapes, sizes. Look, this. That's what I'm trying to go for when the baby's born. I'm not going to get there.
My gosh.
But a boy can dream. I mean, that thing is just.
Yeah,
honestly, that's
with him in the glasses where he was like
there it is.
Was his
Fitzmagic.
Name? What was the Fitzmagic? That was it. Yeah, he was out there throwing dimes for like 6 touchdowns.
This picture right here is a complete vibe. I mean, honestly, like if I could just channel this for the rest of my life. It would just be.
If there was a website called BDE, I'd be.
I'd be
for it.
I'd be all over that. This guy right here, this guy is my hero. This guy, honestly, probably look at this. Cheese ball, right? Boring. Like
here it comes.
Honestly,
you can see it happening.
Barely, probably didn't even make the tour. Couldn't even keep his card, right? Absolute trash. +1 golfer. Played on Sundays. Thought he was his shit. Pulled this off. The guy was literally in contention last week. Like, I'm not even joking. Before that, didn't even know. Look at this thing. It's seriously.
That's what you're shooting for right there.
That's what I'm trying to curl it up. I'm inspired. I mean, dude, it changes the way we function. I mean, I don't know how to say it. It makes the world a better place. It makes men better.
Like we got a long ways to go between now and November, so we'll be able to do maybe we even do some development pictures, like here's where I was in April. Yeah, do like a May update, a June update to put some side by sides and see what's going down.
All right, last topic. We've been having a blast tonight. This was a great show. This is where I want to show you guys this photo here. this is where golf is just making a turn for the greater. Okay, this here is a photo of Patty Perez and his caddy at the Valspar Championship 2 weekends ago. Valspar Championship, I played there in December at Copperheads, great course. It's a professional PGA Tour event. I mean, it wasn't not too long ago where caddies were starting to allow to wear shorts. They always had to wear pants. They always had to be in dress code. Tiger made a couple of players made it fit for them to wear shorts. Now they wear shorts. The guy's walking around with Patty P, who's an absolute legend himself, smoking a stogie. And Patty P posted this on his Instagram. I mean, if this isn't just peak golf, I don't know what is. This is what golf is. So growing up as a kid, I kind of got made fun of for playing golf because it wasn't the cool, fun sport. All those guys that made fun of me are now playing because it's the cool sport. Like, obviously, when you get my age, you can't play anything else besides golf. It's an incredible sport, and this is what it is. It's not like the intensity or like whatever. And I talk about it too. It's what's kind of killed the I feel like the competitive part because he's like, bro, I get to go play golf on the weekend. Who cares? I'm making millies, smoking stogies with my boy.
Smoking a stogie, yeah, with my boy who's also got one hell of a mullet going himself. I mean, not to be outdone, but you got your stogie smoking, flower hat wearing homie over here doing caddy work for the guy with the best mullet on the tour.
Look, it beats Cameron Smith and anybody who says otherwise. So I'm also growing out the mullet, Steve. It's baseball season. I'm growing the mullet back out for the baby too. I feel like I would be doing my child a disservice if I didn't have one when it was born. So
it has to be born to a father with a mullet and some kind of Raleigh Fingers style mustache going. It's just right.
I couldn't agree more. Guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm sure we've bored some of you. A lot of you had fun. Brian Carter, you got to go, dude. You spent more than enough time. Andrew,
for everybody who got new romances tonight, for everybody who's had some rekindling of some fire burning that maybe we've been going at each other in the chat a little bit too much. Pizza brought us together. We had Julia; she brought us together. You guys have been hilarious tonight. Again, we appreciate the hell out of all of you guys for the 1,000 subs. You couldn't have done it without you guys.
Absolutely, Steve. You couldn't have said it by myself. 1,000 subs, guys. That's incredible. We started this thing in June of last year. We're not even at a year yet, and we're at 1,000. Got chills even thinking about it. Let's keep on moving. Let's keep on growing the family. The more people we get in here to talk shit, the better. We absolutely love it. It's awesome. Thank you again for Julia for stopping by. Hopefully we'll be meeting this little Tucker soon, and the baby beard will be in full effect. Until next week, guys, we'll be back on Wednesday where we go live every 8:35, baby. We'll see you then. Boogity boogity.
Ow!